Toast. Wow, it's waffle.
These?
Yeah. Come here. Come here, Kaden.
Oh, look at that, look at. I just missed a sea otter.
I've seen it.
See the fishies?
There's one making friends with.
Look at the fishies.
Okay. There's sea otters up there.
Alright,
Look at the fish. Fishies, you want to take out the regular camera? Hold it around your neck. Ronnie, take out the regular camera. So you can take some pictures of them? Wow, look at the fish. There's a little shark over there to the left. Kaden, come here. Oh, look at that, Kaden. Look at that fish.
right here.
See, Ronnie, that's when I want you taking pictures. You need to pay attention. Try not to get the flash on the glass to reflect back. There's one. Look, Kaden, up here. Oh. Whoa, that's a big fish. We're gonna see sharks in here. Can't really see. Oh yeah, I bet he's big.
He must eat some fish, but perhaps not the kind that are in here.
Can barely see him.
Oh, look! There's a line on the bottom. There's that other big one down there, Mama.
This guy's attracted to the light. Hey, they're attracted to the light.
Let's go over one.
Look, look, look.
Other fish.
There's the kelp crab up there, too.
There's another fish.
Kaden, come on.
That's
Hold Daddy's hand.
He's gonna stand in front of all the kids. Get him to stand over here.
Kaden, look at that.
I got it.
Kaden, come here. Kaden. One,
Come here.
2.
Come here.
Thank you.
Hold Mama's hand. Now look. You can look from here.
Yeah, we got so much to look at.
Okay. Look at all the fish. Now you look at the stingray, Kaden. I want to see if I can get a picture of it. Down, down. There it is.
Look, Jake.
That's a perfect one. face when it does that. And Kaden. Diving school. Oh, I see a nice starfish down there, Kaden. Big purple one. What do you see, Elijah? You see swimmers?
Take your drinks right. You want to go in there?
Did you want to see the big ones? Here. I want to see this.
Okay. You want to go in?
Yes.
Let me take off your jacket then.
It's okay. Come here, sit with Mama.
Come here.
Okay.
Come here. Elijah, come here.
Go get Daddy. Go get Daddy. Go get Daddy. Go on. Kaden, come here. You want Mama? Would you quit being so bratty? You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
Can't catch them.
Yay!
Whee! What's new?
Here, we gotta go.
Come on, give me your hand. Give me your hand. We're gonna go bye-bye. It's okay. I know. Ronnie.
Mom went over that way, baby.
Look in the water. Kaden, right here. Look, there's boats.
Come on, Tina, let's not get too wet.
You see the boat, Kaden? Come on. This is all new because this little kid section wasn't here last time we came. Is there something out that window you can look at? Oh, look, Hayden, penguins. Penguins. If you can get up front. Look, Kaden. You see the penguins?
Oh, there's one. You like the waterfall, huh? You like the waterfall. Look at it. They're talking to each other.
Stay here, please.
Hey.
All right, come on. What are these called?
Mers.
Mers?
They look a little like a penguin, but they're not directly related. But what they can do is they can swim like penguins underwater, and they also fly. And they were rescued from oil spill.
Oh.
What they're doing, they like the lambs. They like the fun lambs. But if you go downstairs and see this tank, the Monterey Bay Habitat tank, you'll see little web feet.
Hey, look at the jellyfish. Purple striped jellyfish.
Look at see the jellyfish?
Wow, cool, dude. Yay! Sunfish. Hold on, I want to get the shark close up. All right. Okay, come on. Oh, get your milk. Go give it to Daddy. Sorry.
Great job! Wait a
Kaden? Kaden?
Magic! There's no magic! That's what you think, Dr. Malgasto. It's called reduce, and I'm going to show you right now. No more nighttime heaters for me. Nothing but extra blankies. Yeah! Yeah! And look at that extra plug. It's nothing but an energy thug. Bye-bye plug.
Bye-bye.
And now you, my plug.
Kaden, stay here, please.
I was afraid of the night, but now I've got some magic to protect me from the real monster of energy waste. Bye-bye, wasted buck.
See ya. We did it, baby. Oh, poor baby. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Malgasto, give it a rest.
Yeah.
She stayed right home, Sammy's past the test. She's got the magic and you've got no juice.
It's lights up for you because I'm learned to reduce.
Stay here.
We got the magic and you've got no juice. It's lights out for you because we've learned to reduce. I've been reduced. Reduce. 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 Great job, Sammy.
Oh, thank you. Bingo.
And that is the story of the first of the magical hours. Thank you for doing your part to help me save my home. And remember,
Stay here.
Two magical hours, we can work together to save everybody's home. We're gonna sing a song, and we invite you guys to
Come
sing
here.
along if you
Come
remember
here.
the words.
Kaden, come here. Come here.
Hey there, boys and girls, gonna protect our world. It's time for you and me to use the magical three. The earth's the home we share.
Let's show everyone we care.
It's time for you and me to use that magical three. We gotta reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah. We gotta reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah. When you turn on a light, you burn electrical juice.
Oh, yeah.
Shut it off at night.
anyways, I say my name is Jay, and I'm one of the volunteers here. There are about 1,000 of us,
Sorry, I don't
including
mean
our
for-
divers who will be coming into the exhibit a little bit later. And this, you know, people wonder, why would you spend all this time and effort and money on kelp?
Caden, honey.
What's good about kelp?
Come over here.
So
He's
this is what we
sneaking his
did.
way
About
up there.
25 years ago, we tried to try this as an experiment. Nobody had ever grown kelp in captivity before, so we thought, well, let's try it. And kelp is pretty easy to grow if you have certain things. It needs 4 things. It needs a supply of clean water. So we pump the water right out of the bay at 2,000 gallons a minute, 24 hours a day. Kelp loves that. It needs the sunlight to grow because it's a plant. So it grows up to the surface, and we're open to the sunlight up there, so it gets plenty of sunlight. The third thing it needs is a place to hold on to. So we built some rocks for it. And when I say built the rocks, we actually built them out of fiberglass for a couple of reasons. One is they're lightweight, and they're not so tough to, we didn't have to put it on that foundation. The second thing is we could make them in the shape we wanted, and then we just brought in all these plants and animals, and they took over and live on them. So it's a great thing. And the last thing it needs is it needs to move around, the water to move around, so it needs a surge. So our founder, David Packard, built a machine up there that moves the water around to feed the kelp. So kelp is pretty easy, but again, why would we do that? Anybody, any ideas why we like kelp so much? No.
Caden,
Yes,
honey.
what do you think?
You're on that lady's
It's a
feet.
great habitat for
Come here,
fish.
sit
We
right
love
here.
that. And also as humans, why do we like it? You breathe. About every half second you go, take a deep breath of oxygen. Well, kelp is that kind of plant that uses carbon dioxide
Just sit right here.
creates oxygen. And the last thing is
Good
we eat
boy.
it. Did you
There
have
you
your
go.
kelp? Who had your
Sit
kelp
down.
today? Raise your hand.
Sit down. Sit down.
Oh, good. A few of you did. Well, they put it in toothpaste,
Stay right there.
things like that. So I hope you had a little more of you had your kelp than you think. It's also in Jell-O and ice cream and other good things to eat. My preference is to get my kelp in beer, but you get your kelp however you can. It's still it's a great food. So that's kelp, and then the rest of the animals we just invited in. As this little guy over here said, it's a great habitat, and as many of you know, our aquarium is set up on a habitat basis, so we try to show the animals in their natural habitat. This is the habitat for the kelp forest fishes. The rock fishes, which we have here kind of floating. But a cold water dive, that's what you see. And the nice thing about it is, you don't even have to get cold and wet to do it. It's a great look at a kelp forest exhibit. So Julie will be down here in a few minutes, and she has the ability to talk to us and to hear us. So think of some questions, and towards after we do a few things, then she'll be able to answer some of your questions for you, and I can pass them.
Now the food comes out and I become a little more popular, huh?
Oh my goodness, they look hungry today.
Yeah, well, we've had warm water, and because the fish, their body temperature is the same temperature as the water they're swimming in, when the water gets warm, the fish get more hungry. And so, yes, we've had some really hungry fish.
So when you say warm, what do you mean warm? Is
Oh,
it 85
yeah, it's all
in there?
relative, isn't it? It's about 57 degrees in here. So
That's
for
toasty.
Monterey, that's warm. And cold for Monterey would be in the 40s.
Wow, so it is warm for these guys in here.
Does it
affect anything other than how they eat?
Well, actually, yeah, when we have nice, really cold water, it's full of nutrients, and so the kelp is much happier when our water is more in the 40s. And when it gets up in the higher temperatures, it doesn't hold as many nutrients in it, like nitrogen, which is something that algae need to grow. And so when we have nice cold water and sunny days, which is a normal summer regime in Monterey, then the kelp can really take off.
I don't think you expected that one to come and nab that out of your fingers quite there.
Well, as long as they get the food and not my fingers, they're welcome to it.
You have such a patient rockfish right there in front. He's just been looking at you. And, oh, thank you, it says.
Oh, he got one of the best pieces too. He got a shrimp.
Great. So what are you feeding them in there? I can see some squiggly things, but what else?
Well, yes, I have whole squid. which are what the leopard sharks here are interested in, and the sheephead. And I have a mixture of clams and krill, which are a little shrimp-like animal, and chopped up squid. That's right, help yourself. And oh, I have some little whole fish in here.
Great. Now where do we get our food for the fish here? Do we go out and catch it ourselves?
No, we buy it from the same suppliers that supply the local restaurants. This is all top quality, restaurant grade food. Healthy food keeps our fish healthy, and also we try to buy sustainably caught and support sustainable fisheries. So we actually purchase our seafood from our seafood watch guide. Maybe you'd like to tell the folks a little bit about the seafood watch guide, right?
Yeah, we have our seafood watch guide here, and I have the West Coast version here with me. So after we finish here, come on up and get one if you don't have one. But our seafood watch guide is a program that's about 7 years old and has been doing research on which fish are sustainable. So it's not saying which are the tastiest ones, but it's saying here are the best fish to eat. So when you make choices by purchasing, you're determining what's fish tomorrow. What you buy today determines what's fish tomorrow. If you're buying things that are sustainable, then it's a guarantee your children and grandchildren and their great-grandchildren are going to be able to eat the same kind of fish we eat today.
Boy, stand up.
So that's what Seafood Watch is all about.
Stand up.
It's just a way to help you make decisions.
Thank you.
I'm glad to know that our fish are eating off the same card.
You see the guy swimming in there? You see the scuba diver?
Well, now, one of the things that I see there is some of these things are just falling to the bottom. What happens if they're not eaten? They just fall down there to the bottom? And...
Oh, well, usually, as they're falling, somebody will take advantage of that and pick it up. But if anything does actually fall to the bottom, we have quite a few starfish in this exhibit as well. And so those guys will help clean up any leftovers that might be hanging around.
Well, we've got a couple of starfish on our windows here, and one over here on this side is really interesting because it's eating something that somebody else dropped. And it puts its stomach right out of its body. It doesn't have any cavity inside, so it puts its stomach out and digests its food outside. So before you go, come and take a look at this bat star on the window and see how it's eating.
Kaden,
sorry. So that I'm able to breathe. It has a microphone in it, so I'm able to talk to all of you. And then I also have a special listening device called a bone phone. And so it's a little larger than a quarter, about a ½ inch thick, and it fits right up against the bone of my skull, and it actually vibrates. And that's how I'm able to hear Jay talking. And so I can talk with all of you. And then I have two hoses that run up to the surface. The yellow one carries my air, and then the red one carries all of the electronics so that I can speak to you and hear you. And then up top is my dive buddy, Justin, and he's making sure that I'm safe and I'm getting the air that I need. And he also has a special job because he has food for the school of fish. In the exhibit, we have a school of anchovies and sardines who aren't coming over to feed what I have, but Justin has a bucket full of krill up there. So Justin, when you think it's appropriate, go ahead and toss in the krill for the schooling fish.
All right, I would love to. If everybody would point their eyes up towards the top, we'll see a large pink splash. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, krill. Any of you here know what else eats krill besides these little tiny sardines? Whales. Okay, these people know whales. So, can you imagine how many big mouthful of krill you'd have to eat if you're a whale? Weighed 400,000 pounds? Big mouthful. Julie, do you have time to answer some questions?
Absolutely.
First, go eat the small fish.
Oh, well, the sharks in this exhibit are leopard sharks, and if you saw them when they were feeding, they were swimming kind of against the window and feeding on food underneath their mouths. So leopard sharks feed mainly on things that they would find in a sandy or muddy bottom, things like worms or clams, and they might eat fish if the fish were on the bottom or buried in the sand. But they know that the feeding show diver comes in twice a day to feed them.
Raw animal in its natural habitat. With each dive, the researchers uncover a variety of puzzling creatures, including species